Kenny here with Gardening Simplified. Today we're out in the workshop and we're going to talk about storing your potatoes. Now these potatoes have been here a couple of weeks. Normally, it depends on your condition, a week to 2 weeks of curing. And what that does is allow the skin to set. We talked about that in an earlier video. But as I had promised, we was going to talk about storing uh, potatoes. So what we're going to do, the way I store them is I use milk crates. It's ideal. And what I do is I just get some straw. You can pick this up at your local feed and supply store. This is from Tractor Supply. No, I'm not affiliated with them anyway, but I take some of this straw and I just cover the bottom, so it's got a little bit on there. And then what we're going to do after we cover it, we're going to brush some of the dirt off. If you don't really have to, but whenever we do that, we can inspect, make sure there's not any damage. Sometimes you get some that's got hollow insides, maybe they got some kind of fungus or rot, and you just make sure whenever you're putting these in there, you don't want to put any of those. Now, you may occasionally have one that'll get messed up, but anyway, what we'll do, I'm gonna finish this row out here and get these stacked one layer deep, and then we'll start a new layer on top of it. Now these are sitting out here, and you set them too long. If you can see these are turning just a little bit green. That's not too much to worry with, but that is a sign that says get these taters somewhere where they're going to be in a cool, dark place to store up for when we need them. Now, we store some in our cooler. That keeps them for a lot longer period of time. So we'll use these first, and you want to watch now. They get a little hole or something like that, you're going to end up with a problem with it. This got a little rot in it, and what we do is we just throw them in our bucket over here. Make sure we don't get those in with these others, because when they're like that, all you're going to do, you heard this saying, one bad apple spoils a whole bunch. Well, one bad potato can do a lot of damage too. What this straw does is it allows air, a little airflow. If you do get one that gets bad, it'll absorb a lot of that, a certain amount of it, keep it from affecting your other potatoes, and kind of cushion between them too, so they're not putting pressure right on each other. But once we get that layer in there like that, all we're going to do is we're going to put some more straw on top. Sometimes you need to separate that stuff apart and just make sure you got a good enough layer that you feel like you don't feel the potatoes underneath real good. So that ought to do, and now we'll put another layer. But I want to talk about other ways to store these potatoes. Now, the old timers back in the day, they used to store them up underneath their house. They have a little crawl space, and they'd put them underneath there. What you do is you put down some lime, you lay your potatoes out under there. The humidity is usually a little bit better down there. They're kind of cool compared to where they'd be, say, in a barn or something like that. And then you go ahead and sprinkle some lime on top of them, and that deters most of your pests, so they won't start attacking them and eating them. Now, potatoes only store for a certain amount of time. These are Yukon Golds. Yukon Golds are one of the longer storage potatoes. There's some that are really short-lived. These are a little bit longer. But these will still start, their eyes will start popping out. sometime probably middle of July to the end of July. Normally somewhere in there, and when the eyes start popping out, whenever I notice that's time to go ahead and start your late crop. That way you'll have potatoes a lot longer. Even here in the heat, now they're going to take more water and they're not going to produce as big or as many potatoes, but they will produce a decent crop. It's worth the trouble putting it in. But anyway, thanks for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it, got a little bit of information out of it. And I'm going to continue here. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe, hit the bell, select all, so you'll be sure to get a notification, and give her a big thumbs up. Enjoy that gardening experience.